valedictorian.
Thank you, Senator Booker. And I'm the parent of a 2-year-old toddler and uncle of a 7-year-old, so the child tax credit, it's very personal for me. Now, we've been involved at Community Change Action in the fight for income support, including the child tax credit, for a long time. And when President Biden put forward his Build Back Better agenda in 2021, we had a chance to pass a transformative, expanded version of these policies that was permanent. These policies that were meant to help families and workers build a foundation where they not only can survive, but to thrive. Now, the American Rescue Plan included the people who needed the child tax credit the most. The poorest folks, particularly black mothers, and we organized with our grassroots partners to make sure those people got it, and we saw millions lifted out of poverty from the child tax credit. Not since Lyndon Johnson has any president moved the needle so much on poverty. Collectively, the expanded child tax credit and stimulus checks lifted over 18 million people out of poverty, making 2021 the year with the lowest child poverty rates for black and brown kids in American history. The government provided no strings attached relief that empowered people to make the financial decisions that made the most sense for them, and in turn, helped the domestic economy get going again.
Yes.
$1 of investment around the child tax credit equals $8 into local economies.
Say that again.
$1 of investment, Senator Booker, into the child tax credit, into working families' pockets, equals $8 into local economies. So we've been working, all of us here have been working to continue the expanded versions of the child tax credit and the EITC. But we also know that 4 million children were thrown back below the poverty line when the temporary expanded CTC expired. Rising costs continue to be a major blow to American families. And think about that for a minute. The status quo is millions of children in poverty in one of the richest countries in the history of the world. This is not an inevitability. This is a policy choice, and it is cruel to throw millions of children back into poverty. We know this is a policy choice. You can boo on that, by the way. Boo. We know that this is a policy choice because we made the other choice to expand and enhance the CTC. And when we did, we cut child poverty almost in half. So the choice in front of us now is to prioritize some of the wealthiest corporations in the world. We should prioritize some of the wealthiest companies in the world who have taken advantage of the last few years to wildly inflate prices while they reap in record profits. Or we can prioritize families, workers, and the bright futures of the next generation, the backbone of our economy. Where we empower people to meet their immediate needs, to pay down their debts, to spend on local businesses, and save for the future, we know that we can create an economy that is better for all of us. So now, it is my deep pleasure to introduce one of the senators who has been a champion of families and of the child tax credit for a very long time. He's going to talk to us about what we can do to push the child tax credit through the lame duck session before the end of the year. From the great state of Ohio, please join me in welcoming Senator Sherrod Brown.
We love you, Sherrod.
You do. That's the only time you've ever said that. Or that you've even acted like it. Anyway, thank you. In many ways, this is Raphael Warnock's day, and I want to go back to March 6th of 2021. And I was sitting on the floor, as we all were. 2 votes. One was 51-50, one was 50-49, I think. Rand Paul or somebody stepped out to the bathroom, whatever the reason. But we won it by 1 vote. We won the child tax credit by 1 vote. It was March 6th. It was a Saturday. Around noon, we've been voting for 13 months. And we passed the bill with the child tax credit that Corey worked on and Susan and all of the state. And I remember turning to Bob Case, who sits next to me, and said, "This is the best day of my career." I worked on it for 7-8 years, as so many of you had. And so about an hour later, I called Raphael Warnock, who was heading back to Georgia, and I said, "Raphael, congratulations, this wouldn't have happened without you." And he said, "It's funny, Sherrod, it took you 10 years to do this, it took me 2 months." So anyway, that's in the spirit of Raphael Warnock for joining Senator Bennett and Senator Booker and me in doing this. Largest tax cut for working families ever. 92% of children in Ohio, in those families with children in Ohio, 92% of those kids saw money, their families saw money in their pockets. That's 2 million children in Ohio. Cut the poverty rate nearly in half. One thing the Senate did, starting in July, the checks went out. July 15th, August, September, October, November. We know what that did for families. It's the most consequential thing we've done in decades to make that hard work pay off. I hope our Republican colleagues are listening. We'll fix R&D. I love these signs. No R&D without the child tax credit. Get the deal done now. R&D, child tax credit now. The deal's on the table. We'll fix other corporate tax issues, like the 2017 tax law, but only if we expand CTC and EITC. That's the deal. It's on the table. We say to Republicans, accept the deal, and we'll move forward. Parents across Ohio have told me what a difference this bill has made in their lives. As Mr. Warren said, it's cut the poverty rate among children, among families. I know, it's only letting me do it this way. Imagine during this period of inflation if the child tax credit were in effect. Imagine for families barely make it, having that $250 or $300 per child per month coming in to blunt the effects of inflation. They made such a difference, they need to continue. We remember what happened in 2017. Lobbyists lined up down the hall from Mitch McConnell's office. Republicans delivered a massive tax cut to the wealthy. They left parents behind, they left kids behind. Those same